Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Unexpected Goals. Barcelona dominates Real Madrid yet again on the doorstep of their 28th La Liga title, which is asking a lot of questions of Real Madrid going into this offseason. They end the season trophyless. Carlo Ancelotti's leaving to go manage the Brazilian national team. Was it going to be Jurgen Klopp or Xabi Alonso coming in? A lot of revamping is going to happen in the offseason for Los Blancos. But let's take a look about how Barcelona dominated Real Madrid for a fourth time this season. Let's start things off in the first half here. Early on, the one question I had for Real Madrid was, how are you going to play through Barcelona's press? Because in every one of these meetings, they have just been, let's send the ball long and let's just hope for the best. But the problem is they don't have forwards like Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. They just don't win aerial duels, and they aren't going to come down with a lot of second balls. So one thing early on that Real Madrid was trying to do, as you can see from the image here, they were trying to create 4 and 5 man combinations out wide and progress the ball down the flanks because obviously that's a low risk type approach. You lose the ball out wide, it's a lot harder for teams to quickly counterattack you and create big chances. So these 4 and 5 man combinations they were hoping with could, allow them to progress the ball down the flanks and get the ball to their wingers, but as we'll see in a little bit, that just really wasn't the case. Now, Real Madrid did take a 1-0 lead. Kubasi made a mistake on the back line, and Mbappe got fouled by Szczesny, and he put in the back net, and just like that, it was 1-0 Real Madrid. But I got to say, whoever the manager is that comes in, they have to do a lot of revamping of Real Madrid out of possession because in every one of these meetings against Barcelona, they were all out of sorts and they had absolutely no answer of how to defend them. And really, what it boils down to is Barcelona is hard enough to defend with 10 outfield players. Imagine trying to do it with 8, because Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. did very little to no defensive work in this meeting. And I'm going to show you an image right here. This is right after Real Madrid goes up 1-0. You'd think, all right, let's sit in, let's try to maintain, be very compact, and let's try to keep Barcelona from playing through the middle. Look at where Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe are. They are just allowing Barcelona to just have a free carry or a free pass just right into the center of the pitch and allow them just play right through Real Madrid. And it puts a lot of pressure on Real Madrid's back line, which, by the way, is completely second choice, right? Like they would love to have Militao, Rudiger, Carvajal, and Mendy back there, but they've got none of those guys available. And all those guys are being asked to man mark all of these forwards who will drop in and all these forwards who are making runs in behind. It's like really, really difficult to defend with 8 guys when your front two are just doing nothing. And of course, Mbappe scored a hat trick in this match. So everybody probably thinks he's the man of the match. Oh, he had such a great match. No, he did zero defensive work for Real Madrid, and it really ended up costing them quite a bit as the match went along. So again, Real Madrid took a 2-0 lead because Barcelona has one major flaw, and it's their high line. And if you can play balls in behind and you can not get caught by their offsides trap, well, you're in, and you can try and you can easily get a lot of big chances, and that's exactly what they did. Vinicius Jr. found some space out wide, and Mbappe just ran in behind, and boom, it was 2-0 Real Madrid, and they had really shocked Barcelona. But that goal in the 13th minute, or excuse me, the 12th minute, um, was the last shot that Real Madrid took until the 56th minute. That's how dominant Barcelona was for the remainder of the first half. Barcelona got one back with Eric Garcia scoring off a corner. Brilliant flicked header at the front post by Ferran Torres. That really never should have happened. Somebody needed to get in front of him and not allow him to do that. But like I said, Real Madrid got completely pinned in for the remainder of the first half, and they just could not find a way out through Barcelona's press. Even all these 4 and 5 man combinations out wide were not working. And they were honestly consistently turning the ball over because they were making a lot of sloppy mistakes. As you can see here from Mark's stats, Barcelona ended up having 9 high turnovers, with 4 of those leading to a shot. Of those 4 shots, 2 of them were goals. And Barcelona ended up with a pass per defensive action of 6.5, which is very, very low. So Barcelona equalized with just another insane goal from Lamine Yamal. But there's something I want you to notice about how it comes to be, because like it was in a lot of instances, yeah, it was a low quality chance and it was a great finish from him. But look at this first image here. Pedri is able to just dribble right through these 2 guys, as you can see, and now Real Madrid has six guys essentially defending the same space and defending three guys. So what is able to happen is Ferran Torres was able to just drift out a little bit wide here, get the ball, and Lamine Yamal has the space to shoot, as you can see, because Real Madrid had so many guys glued to the middle, it allowed space for one of maybe the best player in the world right now to get off a shot and make it 2-2, just like that. And, while cutting off central areas is a good thing, and that's something Real Madrid's really been trying to do in all of these meetings against Barcelona, you just simply can't allow Lamine Yamal this amount of space to get off a shot. Like, he's just too good. So, and this is just the difficulty of actually defending Barcelona because they have somebody like Yamal out wide. And Barcelona went ahead 3-2. Minutes later, like I mentioned, two of the goals came off high turnovers. Well, the third goal, basically, Mbappe and I think it was somebody else. I can't remember who it was, but they basically just ran into each other. Pedri picked it off, and he just played the ball right to Rafinha. Vasquez was pushed up too high because Real Madrid was trying to build out of the back, and Rafinha got the space, and he just put the ball in the back of the net. Now, Real Madrid, I mean, they were just terrible defensively throughout this entire game. And you'll see at the end, Barcelona created over four expected goals. But the problem is, and I'm going to show you a bunch of examples from both the first and the second half here. They just consistently throughout all of these meetings, Carlo Ancelotti has gone with the approach of we're going to man mark across this back line. So when guys drop deep, you're gonna go with them, which creates a lot of space in behind for guys to make a run. So here's one in the 39th minute. It's 3-2, Barcelona's up. Valverde was being tasked with marking Olmo for pretty much the entire match. And so as you can see here, because Fran Garcia has to stay out wide for Lamine Yamal, I mean, one rotation ball here and Olmo pulls Valverde into the midfield. I mean, Ferran Torres can just make a very easy run right into that space, and it can very easily create a chance. Or Rafinha can make a run in behind for that space right there. Like, this is what Barcelona kept doing over and over, and Real Madrid really had no answer because the alternative is all right, we let Olmo or we let all these guys drop deep, and then they have a midfield overload. You know, that's what Inter did. They basically kind of just allowed that to happen. And yes, Barcelona created a lot of chances, but it wasn't four expected goals. So here's another example, though. Second half. This is in the second half right here. Okay, so it's 4-2. By the way, Barcelona got another nicked another high turnover and scored a goal off of it. So now it's 4-2, and it was almost 5-2. So this is what I'm talking about here. Ferran Torres is able to come in, receive the ball. Asensio follows him, and you can see the amount of space that's in behind. And on the flank over here, Rafinha is isolated against Tchouaméni, and he's way faster than him. And as you can see, he barely gets caught off sides, but it could have very easily been 5-2. Here's another example. Valverde is marking Olmo. Olmo basically plants his foot and runs in behind, and Valverde says, "Hey, Asensio, you got him, right?" But because, as you can see, Yamal is pulling Fran Garcia up here, all of that space and down this right flank is available, and he is just able to put the ball right in there. And there's another image here I wanted to show you where Asensio is just getting frustrated because he's like, "What do you want me to do?" Again, now Olmo is the one that drops in deep here and pulls Valverde, and Yamal makes a run in behind of Fran Garcia into this space. And Asensio is sitting there like, "Hey, what do you want me to do?" Like, because I'm trying to mark Ferran Torres here, and make sure that this ball doesn't come in, make sure that he doesn't have an easy slot ball in behind. But Yamal's making a free run. So it's just this stuff just kept happening over and over and over again. And Real Madrid, again, unless they're going to just sit back, like they don't have an answer to how actually they're going to defend Barcelona. And it'll be very interesting in the summer to see. It looks like it's going to be Xabi Alonso. It'll be very interesting to see how good Xabi Alonso is at transforming this team into a good pressing team because they are not right now. They are a very lazy pressing team, and their front two really needs to start doing a lot more defensive work and start pressing at a much more intense rate if they're ever going to be considered an elite team in Europe anymore. Because this is the way football is going. You can't just be like the days of Messi and Ronaldo and basically just say, okay, You two, you don't have to do any defensive work because we're not really worried about, the other team. Like teams like Barcelona, PSG, everybody is involved, okay? Both offensively and defensively. This is the way the game is going. You need everybody involved, both in and out of possession, to become an elite team. And right now, Real Madrid is not that, and they're going to need a lot of work to get to that point. But Barcelona's one fatal flaw hit them again. As you can see, look at this high line. I mean, it's just it's gorgeous in some aspects. This high wire act is kind of fun. It's fun. I mean, I don't really. I mean, you can criticize Hansi Flick all you want, but Barcelona has the best metrics of anybody in Europe offensively. They've been very good defensively this season. They've caught teams offside double the amount of the second place team in La Liga. It's crazy. But if you can get onside, as you can see, there's just so much space in behind, and that's what happened here. Ball was played in behind of Vinicius Jr. He passes it to Mbappe, and boom, it's 4-3. And suddenly, it's like, oh my gosh, this is a game, even though Barcelona has completely dominated it. Um, Now, this image right here, how do I put this delicately? This is lazy from Vinicius Jr. Now, I know he came off with an injury. I don't know if he was hurt and like that's the case in it, but like you watch Real Madrid, this kind of stuff happens a lot. Him and Mbappe as well. I mean, your team is down 4-3 in El Clasico. Your season's on the line. Hustle back and get and make a run off the back line, man. Like, come on. Like what? I don't know. It just the stuff just kept happening over and over and over again. And it's just like your front two got to do something other than just attack, right? Or just do something, and that's what the new managers really got to instill in these guys. But again, Real Madrid had a chance to make this 4-4. They brought on Victor Munoz for Vinicius Jr. because he got hurt, and he had a golden chance making a run in behind. Because once you win the ball, and this is kind of look at Frankie De Jong here. This is what Barcelona kind of does. Like, because they play the high line, you're basically just trying to put off the guy from making a pass, that first initial pass to get in behind. And so he kind of just like jumps at the ball to just like put him off for just a second so that his team can get back. But it doesn't work. They're able to play Victor Munoz in behind, and he had a great chance. It was his first touch of the season, I believe it was, and he put it wide, and it could have been 4-4. But in the end, Barcelona wins 4-3. They're on their way to their 28th La Liga title. And like I said, Real Madrid need a complete overhaul out of possession. And we'll see what Xabi Alonso can do because you can't consistently defend with 8 outfield players. And in the end, I mean, Barcelona completely dominated this match. I'll show you. They had an 84.8% field tilt, and they created 4.2 expected goals. And as you can see on the screen here, outshot Real Madrid 23-9. So the man marking system clearly has not worked time and time again for Carlo Ancelotti. And Barcelona, by all accounts, this season, all 4 meetings, completely and utterly deserved to win all 4 of them. They all were a complete level above Real Madrid this season. We'll see if that continues or not into next season. But in the end, congratulations to Barcelona on their treble and their 28th La Liga title.